Good morning. This is about video and CMA, and I'm going to walk you through the tools that you need, the websites you need access to. Again, these are just recommendations. Today is not about as much about how to do the CMA because you're the market expert and know how to do it. I just want to enable you to leverage a video platform and talk you through the process and some suggested things you could do as part of the video CMA. So there's several tools you could use to record. So I'm going to give you the tool I like. It's free. You can leverage it. There's several in the marketplace, but I like Loom, number one. And I'm going to go from this video to demonstrating all of these tools really quickly right after this. So loom.com is where you'd set up a free account and you can shoot the video from your computer. It has a plugin you can install from loom.com, which is what all my weekly tips are recorded. It gives you a nice little bubble on the bottom right that you will see shortly after my intro here. And that's loom.com. And what I would recommend all of you do is shoot the video in Loom, because it also gives you some ways to edit the video. Like what I'm doing now is giving you a full screen of my video. That's one clip. And then I'm going to record in Loom with my camera on the bottom right, and I'm going to bridge those. So some editing things are available free of charge. You don't need to be a videographer to edit. You can literally drag and drop and do things. Once the video is there for your CMA, I recommend you download it from there and put it on your YouTube channel. Therefore, you really are not paying for any subscription. I'll walk you through that process as part of this weekly tip. Let's dive in. Okay, here we go. Now I've clicked record on this video. I'm going to walk you through the tools that I think will add value to your client. One of the amazing things about video is not just building trust like my email talked about, but because you're focusing on a CMA, you can actually address the client, right? So John and Jane, let's say that's the name of the couple that's living there. You can address them personally because you're doing this one at a time for each of your clients. So that's personalization, and video is truly next level to stand out. All right, so let's kind of talk about the tools you need, the websites, etc. Number one, I suggest you bookmark this or just go to earth.google.com. And I'm going to pick the standard address I normally do any of my tests with is 117 Hanover Avenue, North Wales. And as you start to do that, what tends to happen is if you click it, it just sort of zooms in on the house. So it sort of gives some personalization, and sometimes it has some movements, things like that. So you have the house there, right? So it kind of shows you that. So now I want to walk them through the process of an unsolicited CMA. So one of the tools I always recommend websites is to pull up the estimate on Zillow, because the idea is to show them, look, there's a lot of online tools, but the real resource is a real estate professional, which is me, in this case, you. So I'm showing them, hey, 117 Hanover is 744. I also would encourage you to pull up your valuation site that we offer all our agents, valuation.foxroach.com/ this is your username. In my case, it's Rajiv Sajja. So I would also show this live. I'm recording all of this, right? 117 Hanover Avenue, North Wales, same thing. And as it comes up, it's going to show them that, and I'm going to mention, look, just like Zillow, all of these valuations are computer generated with no specific intelligence of being inside the home. Like you have lived there in the home, and if you think of listing your house, me as a real estate professional, I'll take a walkthrough before we can actually put a valuation on your home. So you can see Zillow is 744. These valuations are all over the place. Adam, which is probably highly trusted, has a range. Quantarium has a range. So computer generated models sort of get you started, but are really not where you need to be when you think about how much equity maybe you've gained truly from the time you purchased your home. So I would do that for sure, right? Show them that this is what's out there, and now you bring your market expertise. I would pull up the MLS you belong to, and I pulled up right here for that specific listing. So I basically did a 2-mile radius search from 117 Hanover with 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. That's about what I did. And that in the last 90 days for comps, okay? So it came up with, and the other thing you can do with Loom, you can move your video from bottom left to top right. Based on where the data is, you can clearly do that and leave it wherever you feel comfortable, okay? Like I did just now. So in this scenario, you can see there's several listings, and you can see there's probably prices are a little all over the place, but what's interesting is you can click on a couple of these that you think are the most closest to the comp of the house in question, 117 Hanover Avenue. So I'm going to go ahead and actually click on one of these, North Wales ones. Actually, this is probably in Regency Drive is in the same neighborhood I live in as well as Hanover. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. So you don't want to necessarily go through all of them. It just demonstrates your expertise. That's the most important takeaway here. It demonstrates your expertise. You're on camera, you're making a connection, and really adding value. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a couple of these that are closest to them and say, hey, look, this is a listing that closed on February 15th, and let's take a look. It sold for $865. What was it listed at, right? So you can go down and talk to them about, hey, listed at $899, sold for $865. So that's one example I want to share with you today as we look at what's available in the market that could compete with potentially your home when you decide to list. And I might go to another listing that is in the same neighborhood. Let's just go with this one right above, 750. This listed it, sold at 750. What did it list at? 750. Unlike the previous one, if you price your home properly, it is priced to sell, and that's where my expertise comes in. And again, unsolicited CMA is not about pushing hard for the listing, but really adding value and expertise as you bring to the table. So share that with them. You're showing some comps. You could do a seller net sheet and kind of take a crack at that as well. The other tool I would highly encourage you to share with them is, and again, this is a tab you want to keep open, which is Real Scout. Again, what I'm doing here is just a soft landing for my video and say, hey, whenever you decide to list your home, I want to show you if there is enough demand, buyer demand, because you have a lot of equity in your house and you want to actually think of listing your house. Let's look at what the demand is. Test the market, and I'm going to go ahead and just put the address in. And again, this demonstrates you having access to technology that can actually move the needle for them, right? I'm going to go exactly like that. And let's just take, $775 as an example. Again, the target price is not the actual price, but it shows you buyers in that range, under that and over that. And that's really what this report gives us. And there's a report, and it's going to pull up the buyer demand. And it tells me that there are 107 buyers in our system today at our company that I have access to if you choose to list your home. And what I would do if I were you as an agent is export as a PDF. And I have it. I'm going to download that. Again, I'm teaching you as I'm recording this. I would pre-download this, but show them this. Hey, look, there's 107 buyers. Keep this open, this tab open when you go into doing this for each of your clients. And so it kind of shows, everybody tells them, hey, the market's hot, but you have data to prove that it's hot if it's listed at the right price. So now that you've done all of that, the last tab you really need to have open is your BHHS Connect CRM. Why? Because you can actually send them. Let me just go into our contacts. So let's just say I did 117 Hanover for, let's just assume it's me. You can then send an email from here. You could even text it, send text, send email, and in the send email, hot off the press, you now can include attachments. I'm going to do a whole video on all the enhancements next Monday, the 22nd. But I could simply say, hold home equity report, whatever you want to call it. Unsolicited CMA is an industry term. Consumers don't understand what that means. So home equity report for 117 Hanover Avenue. And what I would suggest you do is obviously you want to add attachment. And I'm going to go to the downloads and pick up, let's assume that's the download. There's a PDF. Let's assume you downloaded the file. And you write a little bit with, hey, hi Rajiv, hope all is well. Do all of that, and you can use AI right here to do it if you want it, right? Property needs, boom, it just sort of fills it in. You could do that. But the last thing you want to do is before you're sending it, you've recorded it on Loom. So let me show you what you would want to do and what you would include here, the actual video that you've created here, right? So it's on Loom. Here's my library. Here's my Loom library. So let's assume any one of these is one of those videos for my client. I would simply click here. See this download video? I would download it and then go to your YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel, by the way. And feel free to subscribe. I'm not officially announced it yet, but I'm building it up. All my tips are going to be here going forward, including this one. Last week's tip, as you see, name your price is right here. So you would want to upload by simply creating this, see upload video. So if you create on Loom, download it and upload it to YouTube, it will live there in perpetuity. And when you upload it, you can always say unlisted, which means unless they have the link, they can only see it if they have the link. And you can just put it up there. And at that point, you really don't have to subscribe to a video tool. Make sense? So I would encourage you to follow that process. Again, there's several ways you could do this. My hope is to really encourage you to be on camera. Don't overthink it. Your first video CMA is not going to be as good as your 100th, but it should not stop you from getting started. Progress is better than perfection. So just get started and we'll do great. I know you'll do great, and I'd love to see some of your video CMAs. If you can send them to me, I'd be glad to watch them. Great day, everybody.